we need light and brightness. And a lot of it. Well, I'm gonna try, and I hope that it helps. Today, I'm going to discuss one of my favorite Halloween movies. So, enjoy! Right, the season, of course, is something to enjoy. It's not all about waiting for Halloween, but movies are appropriate no matter what time of year it is. And so I'm gonna list a few of my personal favorites and recommendations. All of these favorites are definitely something to watch. The first movie is Freaks, which has an interesting cinematic history and has inspired the Ramones' Pinhead, as in, Gabba Gabba Hey, which, and the word pinhead is now is a slang term for the medical condition microcephaly. And there were three actors in Freaks who had microcephaly: Schlitzie and the Snow Sisters. And it's also fascinating the way that the opening scene, for example, you can see people just doing their thing. You can see a man without arms and legs rolling a cigar. You see a lot of old-time circus performers from the sideshow circuit, when a lot of people with disability kind of sold themselves to care for themselves and performed on stage. This movie also has a lot of parallels and a lot of 6 degrees of separation with other films. One of the main characters is also part of the Lollipop Guild in The Wizard of Oz. Another character, the main hero, the main non-disabled, or let's just call them neurotypical, because there's no real such thing, is In a Patch of Blue from the 1960s with Sidney Poitier. As I said, there's that connection to the Ramones, and the character you see up here in this GIF doing the Google Gobble, we accept you, one of us, and presenting the loving cup to this absolute jerk. Beauty in this movie can be either skin deep or can be hidden, so to speak, or can be you're a beautiful person and you have a beautiful inside, depending on the person. But he's presenting that loving cup to a really terrible person on her wedding, to the main character who, well, I don't want to spoil it, and it inspired Gabba Gabba Hey with the Ramones. And it's definitely something that you see quite often. I think it was in a recent film with Leonardo DiCaprio and a bunch of others who were just partying down. So, Freaks from 1932. The next movie, I really, really like the Hammer horror movies with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Even though, and actually I think it's part of the reason I think is because it looks like Dracula and Van Helsing, who were played by Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing respectively, look like they're about to just forget they're in a movie, sit down and have a cup of tea and talk about their grandkids. I also love Vincent Price, who was in a lot of Hammer horrors, and who also played the scary doctor in a movie about a real case where a scary doctor fell in love with a sick woman who died and then took care of her corpse for years. And I am not Ask a Mortician, so I'm going to just let her talk about it because it is disturbing, but fascinating and inspired an actual movie. And of course, next up, we have The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I also consider a Christmas movie and always will. It goes along with Die Hard, which is also a Christmas movie, and I will stand on that. I will defend that. The next up, and I am so sorry for the awkward silence. I really am. And of course, you have Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and oh gosh, I am so sorry. I keep forgetting your name. I am such a jerk. So, as the Sanderson sisters and their hijinks throughout modern day Salem and the hijinks of the kids who are stopping them. So there they are. There are a lot of my favorites, and and of course, it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and its sequel the next year, after the disappointing end of the first. Oops. Pretend I didn't say that. And so next up, well, that's it. So anyway, enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful time. Definitely check out the old horror movies, even though they're not really terrifying. Just camp, but they can be quite fun, or even accidentally scary when you realize that there was a lot of terrible reactions to the disabled people because they thought that they might scare others, or meddling and taking scenes out. Todd Browning got really messed up. It's in public domain, as I said, so you can actually check it out on the net for free. Also, check out the profiles of Schlitzie, the Snow Sisters, and other characters. There's even, basically, there is a whole lot of sideshow performers, and they are fascinating, but also really, really sad because they really got messed over, and in some cases, sideshows were the only thing they really had. So anyway, from my house to your house, you're loved, and you take good care.